Hey you guys, it's Britt. Today I'm jumping on to put some makeup on and I want to talk for a couple minutes about YouTubers, mental health, how they sort of commingle, and my thoughts surrounding the topic. So if you're interested, please keep watching. Hey guys, my skin is not on its best behavior right now, but I'm also not going to not film videos just because I have some breakouts I'm trying to deal with. So I'm going to do a little quick makeup look for you guys, and I also want to talk for just a couple minutes about mental health. Yesterday was, I forget what the official name is, but it was National Mental Health Day. It might be called Mental Health Awareness Day. Forgive me. But I'm sure you guys understand what the point of that day is. Frankly, I think that every day should be Mental Health Day. But I am glad that it is a day that people recognize because it's important. So I wanted to show this to you guys. I went to Sephora, and this was a little while ago, and I got this little, ooh, I don't want anything to fall out. It's this little magnetic palette from Makeup Forever. The palette itself was $2. I do have a Z palette already, but I needed something with a little more, I'm sorry, not more space, but I needed another one, but I didn't really want to get a huge Z palette. And I saw this at Sephora and thought that it was perfect. And I also ended up getting a couple new single shadows from Sephora collection. So today I'm going to use the shade Brownie. We are just going to create a really smoky matte brown eye look. If you guys are like me and you do not like all of the eyeshadow palettes that come out and you gravitate towards single eyeshadows, I would highly recommend looking at the Sephora collection ones because you can pop them out of their component and just put them in an empty palette like I did. They are, I believe they're $9 each, which is a little more expensive than the ones from MAC, but I have had really good luck with the ones from Sephora collection that I've tried. The shimmers, the mattes. And the easiest way that I have found to work with these dark mattes is just to build it up slowly. Don't try to go in with too much, because like anything else with makeup, it is easier to add more than take it away. Okay, so let's have a little chat about mental health. Now, I am not someone who has a history of suffering with any sort of diagnosed mental health issues. I'm very grateful for that. I do consider myself someone who feels different in the winter. I've talked about that some on my channel. I just don't feel like I am quite as positive when it is cold and gray outside. And I think a lot of people feel the same way. But I've never been to a doctor and been diagnosed with seasonal depression. I can just kind of speak for myself when it comes to that because I've been dealing with it for many years. Even as a kid, I wasn't super, I just didn't feel like myself during the winter months. Okay, for my complexion, I'm going to try to take it super easy today because my skin is not on good behavior. I'm using the Scalisi Perfect Tinted Treatment. I absolutely love this. It is less coverage than a tinted moisturizer. Very, very minimal coverage, but it does look really nice on the skin and never gives me any issues. Yeah, there's literally like next to no coverage with that, but I actually really like it. For some reason, this YSL Touche Eclat is much more watery than it normally is. So as far as mental health goes, you know, my seasonal stuff is, you know, not the greatest, but I have realized that, you know, there's really not much I can do unless I move out of the DC area, and that's just not a possibility as of right now, so I just do my best. Now, when it comes to mental health and YouTubers, I've seen two sides of it. I've seen people utilize YouTube in a positive way to share their struggles of mental health and, you know, allow the community around them to help them. I've also seen some YouTubers use mental health claims to get out of bad behavior, and that I don't like. I do like the fact that people are openly discussing it and talking about it with their audience and everything like that. But if you're gonna use it just to get out of something bad that you did and blame it on mental health issues, especially if the YouTuber has shown a pattern of bad behavior, I don't think that it should ever be used as a cop-out, in my opinion. I think that it can be a contributing factor, but if you're a horrible person, then, you know, maybe you're actually just not a good person. So I hope what I said makes sense. I just don't think that, you know, if you're doing horrible things every few months, you can't come out every few months and just say, oh, well, you know, I'm just being a horrible person because I have mental health issues. I think that that should not be just a cop-out. For my blush, I'm using MAC Warm Light. It's actually quite a pale blush, but since I have so much going on in my eyes, but you know, I think by YouTubers talking about mental health stuff out in the open, the really powerful thing that it can do as well for the audience is to encourage the audience to talk about it and encourage the audience to look into treatment or ways to handle their mental health issues, which I think is really amazing. Anyone with a platform should be, you know, in my opinion, if they're comfortable with it, should be talking about their trials and tribulations. That's what I always say when it comes to being relatable on YouTube, is just creating more of an open door and not being so perfect and, you know, the perfect skin, the perfect life, the perfect house. It can be really powerful when you use your platform for good, because you never know who might be watching your video. and taking something really positive away from it. And the other thing that I'll say is, aside from, you know, I don't think that mental health should be used as a cop-out consistently for bad behavior. Something else I would love to see is people not mocking others that have mental health issues. And the reason that I say that is because I've seen it a few times, but the commentary channel BX Beast Boy did decide to discuss Sloan, and in my opinion made a mockery of his situation. It was a really bad video, and I'm not going to go into detail here because it's really not my story to tell, but I mention it because mocking anyone with mental health issues is just wrong in so many different ways. You know, if you're concerned about someone or you have you know, a legitimate point to make, I think that it can be delivered in a way that is not so horrible. I just think that it can be delivered in a way where you're not mocking them. Mocking someone with mental health issues, mocking someone with addiction issues, is just not something that I will ever do or support. I think that you can be concerned about someone and not bully them or make fun of them. It's not something that I like to see ever. As commentary channels, drama channels, whatever you want to call yourself, you do talk about other people, and I've said the same thing about Katie Joy. There's a way to be concerned or have criticisms or have an opinion, but it's all in the way that it's delivered. That's why Katie Joy has gotten so much criticism. And what I saw on the live stream from BX Beast Boy was not a good look. Okay, I tried this Melt highlighter today, Melt Cosmetics Stargazer. I was gonna get the gold one, but the gold was way too gold and it had chunky glitter, which I don't really like chunky glitter in my highlighters. All right, guys, so that's going to be the end of this video. As always, I hope that all of my points came across in a meaningful way. I think that mental health is a huge topic. There's a lot of things that can be discussed with it, but I am, you know, I want to make the point that when mental health and YouTubers sort of commingle, it can go one of two ways. It can go the way of the YouTuber being transparent with their audience and opening up a conversation and maybe encouraging someone who watches them to seek help or try to, you know, face their problems head on. Or it can go down the road of the YouTuber relying on that as an excuse to be a horrible person and consistently using that as an excuse to behave badly or whatever. You know, all of these Karen videos that you see with like racists like Karens and Kevins on Instagram, you'll see them once they get confronted and realized, okay, this person isn't going to put up with my bullshit, they'll say, oh, I have a lot going on, or I'm sad, or oh, like my, you know, daughter is sick, or whatever. And some of those things might be true, but they are using those excuses to be racist and be horrible people. So that's how I feel about the whole YouTuber mental health thing. I think that it can be good, but it could also not be very good if it's being used as a constant cop out. And you know, lastly, let's not mock people that have mental health issues. Sharing your mental health struggles is a battle in itself, and if it is someone being sincere, which in my opinion, I think that Sloan is being very sincere. He has just chosen to share his struggles with his YouTube audience, and let's just not mock people who are choosing to do that. I think that there can be a conversation had, but like I always say, you can criticize, but if you're coming at it in an immature way or yelling or angry, nobody's going to hear you out. So yeah, I had quite a few thoughts. Hopefully they all made sense. If you guys like this video, please leave me a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.